Hi, everyone. My name is Ellen Parker, and I will be going through why programmatic advertising is the future of marketing in the sessions very special to AAMA. Thank you so much, Michelle, for having me. I'm super excited, so let's get into it. So what to expect in the next maybe 45 minutes each is high energy because that's just me. You're going to expect some definition because we all understand words differently. So we're going to go ahead and cover some of those definitions so we're on the same page. We're going to talk about actionable insight. We're going to have shameless plug because why not? We're going to have a live Q&A. So if you have any questions, make sure you drop it in the comment and we'll get back to you as soon as possible, or reach out to Michelle for more information or myself. We're going to have some memes. We're going to have some QR code because Coinbase normalized it. So why not? We're going to have some polls. And then if you have any questions, again, this is my Twitter account, my Twitter handle. And if you scan this first QR code, you'll go ahead and access most of my social media. So let's get into it. Who am I? Who is Helen Parker Consulting? So I have over 10 years of digital advertising. I started as a media trader or commonly known as campaign manager in programmatic media. I manage over multi-million-dollar campaigns across search, social, and mainly programmatic. So we'll talk about programmatic and what I did in a hot second, so bear with me. I've trained multiple teams and built a programmatic department for startup agency almost the whole 10 years, okay? I'm a founder of the Programmatic Digest podcast, which is an industry trends discussion with experts. We're on all platforms, podcast platform, and on YouTube. And of course, if you had to ask me as a person, who am I? My name is Ellen. The H is silent because my first language is French. I'm originally from Senegal. It's a small country in West Africa. My origins are Cape Verdean, which is also a Portuguese island in West Africa, and my grandma is Lebanese. I'm optimistic, open-minded, and outgoing. And please, I'm a lover of Beyonce. So if you're not a lover of Beyonce, not part of Beehive, you just can't be watching this anymore. I'm kidding. I'm a bookworm, so I may or may not refer to a lot of books in this presentation. I'm an advocate for diversity, equity, inclusion, and representation. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm a Catholic, and my superpower is my high energy and my charisma. So I founded Ellen Parker Consulting just to offer clients or individuals programmatic media solution in the form of training and workshop. As a result of working with my company, my clients have gained an increase of their revenue in 10 to 30% within the first 3 months following our signature framework. What does that mean is that they spend a day with me. We provide workshop for their employees. And then after the end of those workshops, every single one of those employees have told us that they feel so much more confident, so much more excited about their work, and so much more innovative. And just those three things have led into that said employee to be more innovative, to suggest more new strategies, pitch higher budgets for those clients, and therefore increasing revenue. So because I am big, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really big on self-development and training, I have standardized the corporate training I'm offering into a course for individuals like you and myself. You're thinking about up-leveling your skill set into the marketing world. You're probably already working in the marketing world, trying to find something that's more fulfilling, more challenging, something you need a little into your day-to-day, then I would recommend my course. It's a course that takes you from fundamentals all the way to strategy and activation of programmatic media. And again, programmatic, the only thing complicated about programmatic is the word itself, and you'll get to know in a hot second, okay? So our mission is to empower marketers with 0+ programmatic experience to keep learning authentically at their own pace without boundaries. Because how many times have we worked for a job where you were only offered training for said job, even though you wanted to, I don't know, you're in SEO, but you want to learn about SEM, or you're in paid social in Facebook, but you want to learn about TikTok and Snapchat, but your agency was told you just no, because that's just not part of your job description, let's say. Well, this is a course created for these type of people that are self-starter, innovative, ready to pivot, not scared of taking a risk, even though it does look uncomfortable, okay? So because I am so grateful And really, I'm so grateful to be here in your presence and to applaud you for just being here and learning about this concept. I want to offer you 20% off of the course. So with this code, there's no expiration for this code. So if you're watching this a year from now, a month from now, or just 2 hours from now, the code is still AAMA20, 20% off the full course, okay? This is what my community say about the course, but about also working with me. Carlos Villanueva is one of my very dear friend now. He joined the community a year ago and admitted that that was the best thing he did for his career, because now he has professional reach, he's able to continue learning from other people. And Carlos was recently featured on my podcast as a guest. So just go check it out. It's episode 102. And Tasha was one of the very, 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 very first person I've trained in this industry way back when. And she is such a dear friend to me. So one of the benefits of the course is that you get to join this community. So again, tap into this code. There's no expiration. You're my friends. I love the AMA community. And I wanted to thank you for that matter. So before we get into the conversation, right? Because there's going to be a lot of new stuff going up. I want you to affirm this. I deserve to be happy. You can say it after me. You can just read it. You can write it down as you're saying it. But I'm big on affirmation because words are very important for our brain, for our subconscious, and for our future. You manifest and you project everything that comes out of your mouth, and it just reflects into your body, and it reflects into your environment. So affirm this. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to take care of my family. I deserve to be and thrive in an environment of success. I am worthy and capable to achieve the success coming my way. Yes, you whiz. I can, I will, I must do everything necessary to reach my goal. I deserve to be paid well to live the life I want. I'm giving back to those around me, and I attract all good things, okay? So write 3 reasons why you want to learn about programmatic advertising, or write 3 reasons why you are with us. And is it because you are trying to pivot into a new career? You really just want to learn new things, see what's out there? Write those 3 reasons, because those 3 reasons are going to keep you going. So write your 3 whys, right? Why you're here, and then put it somewhere where you can visualize it on a daily basis, because it's going to keep you motivated and disciplined when motivation isn't showing, because motivation don't always show up every day. Trust me. At the end of this deck, at the end of this conversation, you'll be able to comfortably talk about what programmatic advertising is, why it is important, and the benefit for brands and advertisers. So let's get into it. Are you ready? Yes, I told y'all I was a fan of Beyonce, right? I hope you know that. Okay, cool. All right, so let's get into it. So most of us already understand marketing, the action or business of promoting and selling product. You already know that. You understand the concept of advertising, or you work for an advertising company, an advertising agency, a media company, you name it. And advertising is a means of communication with consumers of a product or service. It basically means, it comes from the Latin verb advertere, which means to turn one's attention into something. So you know that there's different type of advertising, okay? We're going to focus on one particular one called programmatic, but you're probably familiar with this one already, which is search engine marketing, SEM. You're Googling something, and then you see that the first 3 to 5 result are ads. So you can see this says ad over here, and then over here it says nothing. So it's an organic, right? You're also familiar with paid social advertising. A lot of us are very familiar with Facebook Ad Manager, LinkedIn Ad Manager, TikTok, Pinterest, you name it. There's so many of them. But what we're here to talk about is programmatic. And Rachel Mervis, she works for Kimberly & Clark, she said that marketing is a skyscraper and programmatic is circuitry. Programmatic is the energy that marketing needs. And here's why. So now we're going to get into definition. I'm going to illustrate everything with a couple concepts here to give you the visual, and then we'll get into the benefit. So programmatic advertising is a form of digital advertising that automates how we talk to brands. Perfect customer via digital channel. Specifically, programmatic advertising automates the marketplace of buying and selling of those advertising space. So programmatic advertising is simply automated advertising, okay? We use technologies that allow us to tailor the right message at the right audience at the right time. So let me give the example of Facebook Ads Manager, even though it's not on your screen right now, just bear with me. Facebook automates ad placement into Facebook ads, into Facebook inventory. So you're using Facebook Ad Manager as a technology. You're loading up your advertising details, the ad set, the campaign, the budget, all of that good stuff. And then you're deploying your ad, right? But you're only deploying on Facebook and Instagram, which is the inventory currently available via Facebook Ad Manager. Maybe WhatsApp will be there very soon. We don't know. So Facebook is automating that process of placing those ads via Facebook inventory. So programmatic is the same concept outside of Facebook, outside of social media. So let me explain a little bit more. It's an adjective. It's used to refer to tasks that can be done in an automated way using programs, or in our cases, a technology, especially as opposed to tasks that are done manually by a person. So we're all familiar with the stock world, especially if you're located in the US. If you're not, I'm not sure if that's relevant to you yet. But in the US, I'm pretty sure in Canada and most countries, when you have some money, you want to invest in a company and then you own a percentage of that company in stocks and share in dividends. And sometimes the company pays you back. So let's say you want to own a percentage of Hertz or Apple or LiveRamp, which is a technology we work with. Well, you log into these platforms right here, Ellevest, Fidelity, or TradeStation, and then use these platforms to see how much those stocks are going to cost us, those shares, and then purchase those, right? So these technologies right here are automating the buy and offering a marketplace with all stock options to trade and many more. You can also sell those stocks once you want to make your money back, right? So Ellevest, again, TradeStations, they're all automating that process of selling and buying stock. You could call Hertz directly and say, listen up, Hertz, I want to own $5,000 worth of your company, blah, blah, blah. Maybe, but the most common way to do it is either to hire a company, right? Like a financial advisor to do it for you, or to do it yourself here. So programmatic advertising is very similar. We use the technology to place or buy the advertisement space via something we call the demand side platform, which is simply the name of the technology. Demand side platform is the name of the technology. TradeStation is the brand of that technology. Here we have a different one. So let's illustrate this in a very, very simplified programmatic media buy, okay? There's a little bit more to this, but you have your brands. Okay, you have Adidas, the World Bank, Coca-Cola, you're representing them, and you're trying to place ads on, let's say, the Washington Post or BBC News. So you log into the demand side platform. Again, those are just example. Adelphic, DV360, Display Video, and 360. And the Trade Desk are just DSPs. There are demand side platforms out there available for you and your client. So you log on to this, you go and select Washington Post, or you select news category to deploy your ads. And then on the other side, okay, on the publisher side, the publisher is somebody that owns some type of inventory, network of sites, something like that. And they have access to SSP, so supply side platform, and then you have demand side platform. So just here, take a pause, take a breather. You can see that it's it sounds like economics or lessons in economics, demand and supply. In the stock example, we use both Fidelity to do both, selling and buying. In programmatic media, we use one technology to buy, and then we use a different technology to sell. That's just what it is. So the technology to sell the supply, to sell the inventory is called a supply side platform, or even a sell side platform. And then the one that wants to buy, that has demand to buy, is called a demand side platform. So these technologies are basically just automating the placement, because again, we could call the Washington Post and say, hey, can we place this ad here and there? And you can still do that nowadays. But utilizing this, and we're going to talk about the benefit in the next few minutes, is what makes the automation very, very efficient for us marketers. So you're already familiar with some of these ads, okay? You know these ads are out here, existing. This Dell ad is programmatically bought. This one right here, sponsored content, is a native ad by PayPal for Business. It's programmatically bought. These ads, A and Bs, are both programmatically bought. Now, some I would say some publisher like the Wall Street Journal, you could do like a direct buy and call them directly and say, hey, we want to have this spot, and they can sell the spot to you as well. So you can do both. It's just programmatic advertising allows you to automate it, so you don't have to get to wait to get to talk to somebody. You can just place it. You've walked in the mall, in an airport, outdoor in a shopping center, and you've seen this ad. But the beauty of programmatic is that it can be weather influenced. So you can show an ad when it's raining, and you can show an ad when it's not raining. Okay, so the example here is umbrella and then sunblock. The cool thing about the weather targeting, and I'm just sharing here because I just talked to one of the vendors we work with, and he was just saying that when it's raining, ice cream, the ice cream product or goes on sale. I mean, ice cream sales increases when the weather is not doing really good, which is crazy because I would think, oh, it's summer, let's go get ice cream. But when people are stuck at home, they turn to ice cream apparently. So they have actually a very big ice cream brand. Actually, it's it's an ice cream brand, and that advertise based on the weather, and they increase their budget during when it's closer to the hurricane season, like when it's raining outside and when the weather is not as sunny, they increase their budget because they know that people want to go. Here's another thing that you're familiar with, streaming TV. You may have heard of the letters CTV, connected TV, streaming TV, OTT, over the top, you name it. But it's basically the Netflix and the Hulu and the whatever. And here's the thing, this is a ad from Hulu. Yes, this one is from Hulu. And it's basically, this is how cool programmatic advertising is. Like, you can pause your content on Hulu and then get served an ad that is relevant to you. Or sparkling water with spark of caffeine. Oh, you're taking a break from your binging your streaming content. Maybe you need some more caffeine. I don't know. Or maybe you just need a Coca-Cola, you know? So this is also from Hulu. This is Hulu content. But this one is binge watching is better with a Coke, and that's what the advertisements say. So I am showing you all of this because there's like programmatic is definitely, it could be considered a niche industry, but it's really not, because we're basically covering every single advertising space out there, outside of traditional, of course, and outside of social media. So everything outside of social and everything outside of traditional media. And with streaming TV, we bring the two together, right? Because now you're in your regular TV, an actual TV device is just, it's, what is it called? It's a smart TV. So we can target smart TV content, we can target Hulu content, we can target specifically NBCU, we can target Roku, your PlayStation, your Xbox, whenever you're watching. And then you can also target those apps, right? So Pluto, Sling, HBO, I don't know if it's HBO Now or another one. But all of them have some level of ad space that they're offering. And Netflix is actually the next one that the industry is kind of excited about it, because it's Netflix and they have the user base. But Netflix is over here giving us some crazy numbers that no advertiser is excited to at least spend their money on. But anyway, that's just like a side note on the industry and what's happening. But we can do all of that via that one technology, okay? So what I want you to do is take a minute while I sip on this water and try to explain programmatic advertising to 5-year-olds. Okay? Because the best way to learn is to teach somebody. So take a minute, pause this video if you're replaying this, and explain the programmatic advertising to a 5-year-old. And if they don't get it, keep explaining. Because if you're able to explain to 5-year-old, one, you definitely understand the concept, and two, you'll be able to understand what's coming next. So my good friend Tasha, remember I showed her at the beginning of the deck, She's built, I don't know, she's built like a department of campaign managers and traders from 1 to I think 20 in 2 years for this startup agency, and she's very good at what she does. And I asked her, what did you think? What did you want to tell somebody that's learning about programmatic advertising and ad agency or brands, why they should consider? And she said, by adding in programmatic, agencies can provide deep and meaningful insights about the path to purchase, sales cycle, and user behaviors through partnerships with like Rockerbox, Kochava, and many others. Those are just vendors. Programmatic will assist you in filling in the gaps that social and search platforms have while expanding your reach and keeping your client's brand top of mind no matter the device or channel they frequent. That is so important. Like, we're just filling in the blank. We're not better than those channels. We're just allowing you to understand those channels are really good, but programmatic can take it to the next level. So adding programmatic media to search and social media plans allow agencies to reach their clients' audience throughout the entire day as they browse their phones over breakfast, use their desktop computers at work, search for new shoes on their lunch break, or stream shows at night. So that's the beauty of programmatic, is being able to be efficient in your targeting and your measurement. Okay, so again, everybody understands these words differently. So let me explain how we understand it. Efficiency is the ability to achieve an end goal with little to no waste, effort, energy, or cost. Measurement is the act of determining size, capacity, and quantity. Now, targeting this is a definition I got from Acuity Ads, and I got the QR codes on the slide. So make sure you scan the QR code and then read it after the presentation, because you're just going to get additional information on what we're talking about here. So targeting tactics are used to segment audiences using data so that advertisers only pay for ads delivered to the right people at the right time and depend less on the spray and pray method of digital advertising. You can literally target very specific segment. You can target soccer moms, okay, because their kids are probably in soccer, so she's more likely to buy soccer gears, with 3 kids in the household. One of them is nearing high school graduation, so they've been looking at college. The mom is the decision maker of the household, therefore of the money, but dad is working. Okay, that's your typical, let's say, typical American family. Well, the average, I would say. And so those type of segments we can literally target in advertising. I mean, in programmatic. So you're not wasting, like targeting all moms. You're targeting specifically moms with kids and a high schooler nearing graduation, literally. So we have access to new technologies with many targeting options. That's the beauty of programmatic, because it's online and using digital tech, we can measure and track our advertising effort all across. The bottom line and beauty of it all is that that is cost, time, and energy efficient. So here's all the things you could do in programmatic. You can have display, you can have native, online video, digital audio, you name it. But it basically just looked like this. We saw a few native example at the beginning. Digital out of home is those digital billboard in New York, the taxi cabs, the gas stations, the grocery stores, sometimes even the doctor's office, you name it. Digital audio, you're familiar with Spotify, iHeartMedia, Pandora. Display is that banner that you track along everywhere. And YouTube is online video, but you can also consider pre-roll here, you know, those videos that pops up when you're reading some news sites. CTV, again, I mentioned, I showed you what OTT was. Here, I showed you Netflix, even though right now we cannot place ads on Netflix, but it's coming. But here's a quick break, okay, from this knowledge. This is a good way to, first of all, it came from 1994. Make sure you drop it in the comments. But in 1994, 2 things happened. My younger sister was born, and then the very first display ads made its appearance. Yes, I swear. Yes, that is a first. That is what the first display ad was back in the days, y'all. Have you ever clicked your mouse right here? You will. And people clicked. This was the very first banner ad. So tonight, when you're going to a dinner with some friends or some from happy hour, this could be your your dinner conversation, like a quick a quick way to break the ice. Like, did you know that the first display banner was created in 1994? And it said, have you ever clicked your mouse right here? You will. It appeared on Wired magazine's website, hotwire.com, on October 27, 1997. Okay. So, and it was an AT&T ad, by the way. So AT&T has been around for a while. So that's the very first display ad. You're welcome. Now you know. So why should you care? Why should advertisers care? Okay, so like we're over, I think we're over half of the presentation. So we should have about 10-15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes left here. But if I had to maybe recap why anybody should consider programmatic advertising, whether you want to work in the industry, whether you want to run it for your clients, whether you want to build your own agency and offer it as an offer, you can improve brand awareness, you can increase sales revenue, and you can integrate hyper targeting. Again, think about that mom, that soccer mom that I referred to earlier. So programmatic advertising is necessary to communicate with brand's ideal audience. Unlike traditional media, it offers real-time measurement, performance transparency, and a plethora of creative messaging capabilities. So what are the benefits? Well, reduce advertising costs. Again, I'm not targeting everybody and their mamas and papas right now. We're targeting the specific decision maker of the household so she can go order this particular product on our website. Or we're targeting work from home or work from anywhere, digital nomad folks that are more likely to be familiar with a Starbucks product, and therefore we want them to download the Starbucks ad and the Starbucks app, excuse me. So it's very specific. So you're no longer just throwing dollars, okay, in, and you're able to measure everything that's happening. For instance, in Facebook, you can add interest-based audiences, you can add demographic audiences, you can add first-party audiences, which is the CRM list that you'll upload. But there may be limitation in terms of, unless you're separating each audience into its own ad set, if you're putting all of those audiences into one ad set, you may not be able to say exactly how many of your first party data or how many of your other audiences are performing better. In programmatic advertising, you can. I can specifically say which segment had the highest conversion with the highest CPA or the lowest CPA and things like that. So it's very, very cost efficient for our clients. Audience targeting. I've been talking about it this whole time. If we had to have a drinking keyword, it would be audience targeting or just targeting, the word targeting. So audience targeting is it is very, very important for our industry, but also the beauty again is that you are really matching the audience with the environment and the messaging. So when you're watching Hulu, that message might be different for that same brand as it should be different than what it is in social, but also you're able to watch that commercial on your Hulu and then be retargeted with the same message when you are in your Gmail or when you are reading your newsletters in the morning, when you are on your phone, just reading the news, watching the news, for instance, on your phone. That's just an example. So that's the beauty, like audience targeting. You can maximize ROI, return on investment. You can also maximize return on ad spend, which is basically ROI for ad dollars. Operationally efficient, meaning that because we utilize technology, there is a faster turnaround time. We can activate media faster. We can literally turn on a campaign very fast once you have all the assets given to you. So what are the opportunities for improvement? Because I kind of like the word challenge, okay? In any industry that you work in, there's plus and negative, right? There's two sides to the coin. So this is the bottom side of the coin here. What are opportunities to improve? Here's what you need to know. As an agency, as a brand, there will be an upfront investment and time-consuming onboarding process because you're learning what programmatic is first and how to use that technology. The good point about it is that you will have to work very closely with those technology and the support team, and they have excellent, let me tell you, those technologies have very, very great support teams. So even though it might be cost a little bit more at first, from a time perspective and a financial perspective, you still have support, okay? there are some inconsistency in our measurement and our metric of data. Every channel or vendors that we work with may measure things differently. And honestly, that's the biggest frustration. We may all use this data, but we're not speaking the same language sometimes, but that could be frustrating. But from a brand's perspective, as long as your brand channels and marketing efforts are measured the same way, then that is resolved. I'm just talking about across the industry that's not very, Here's another one. A lack of transparency when partnering with vendors and sometimes agencies, okay? Sometimes. Some partners will not be open to telling you exactly how they came up, how they're targeting, how they're packaging that audience, how they're measuring their success. And I think that's a red flag. Listen to me. If you're in an industry where you're working with partners and you are not unable to see exactly how you're performing, you have to wait a month or so to get some results. That ain't it. Okay, that ain't it. You should be able to have real-time reporting. And there are third-party vendors like Clickvoyant for data analytics specifically that are very good at removing that transparency cloud and allowing you to see what is going on under the hood. Like, let me see what you're running, okay? So that's really important, but that can be a challenge as well. The risk of brand safety and viewability fraud. I mean, listen, even Facebook have some viewability and brand safety issues right now, okay? The poor guy has been in court every other month. So there's brand safety issues as a whole in the marketing world. So, but it's still very prevalent in the programmatic world as well. So again, you have partners that we work with to make sure we are ahead of the game and that we protect our clients' brand's integrity. So let me just end with this because we're at the end of our deck here almost. But I want to leave you with some numbers because we're all about numbers. Okay, we're marketers, we're about numbers. Excel is big, hashtag Excel is big. Here's the share of programmatic in digital advertising spending worldwide in 2022. Asia is 87%, North America is 83%, European markets are 82%, South America, Africa, even in Central America, it's 74%. So digital advertising uses the internet to deliver marketing messages via various formats to internet users. So I'm just defining the criteria of this study. It includes search advertising, banner advertising, video advertising, as well as classified. So talk about classifieds, those direct deals that I was referring to. So furthermore, the digital advertising market is segmented into desktop mobile revenues, depending on the delivery methods, such as desktop, blah, 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 anyway. So when you hear digital advertising on this board, it's everything. So it's including search, social, banners, programmatic, everything. And programmatic holds 87% of the whole digital advertising world. I mean, sorry. Well, in North America, it's 83, and in Asia, it's 87. So it's a big deal. So even though we think it's niched, it's really not niched. Even though we think it's a new industry, it's really not a new industry. It's been around since so I started in 2013, I think 14. I think it's been around for like since 2010. I don't know when was the first DSP created, but back in the day, even it wasn't there. I mean, the last 8 years have really shifted and shaped how we activate programmatic media. So it's I mean, if you have to compare it to newspaper, yeah, it is a new industry, but 10 years in technology, it's almost like 30 years in dog years. Okay. So in the US, programmatic ad spend reached $80 billion in 2021, up from $63 billion in 2020. And again, I'm not saying millions with M like moo, no. It's B with a big old B for billions, B like baby, okay? Programmatic was projected to account 72% of all display ad spend, according to ROI Revolution. And again, in the last, I forgot to mention, in this graph, we have, this graph was pulled from Statista, which is very well known in the industry, actually. So if you scan the QR code, you'll be sent to that page where you can have more information, because I just pulled slightly how the study was conducted to give you more perspective here. But yeah, so here's what I leave you with, advertising agencies in the US, statistic and facts. There's a number of us. We are here, okay? 14,000 advertising agencies in the US, 181,000 employees in those ad agencies, and all of them said that the highest revenue, well, most of them said that the highest revenue source of those ad agencies, those 14,000 ad agencies, are integrated advertising services. Why? Because they offer one-stop shop for their clients. So if you're working for an ad agency right now that is not currently doing programmatic, you might be doing display in Google Ads. You might want to step it up. You might want to go to your boss and say, there's a whole world out there that holds 84% of the pie that we are missing. We are missing 84% of our revenue right now because we're not offering programmatic channels. There's a way to do it. We talked about the challenges, or rather the opportunities. We talked about the benefit in this particular video at the beginning. So make sure you go back just to review. Always go back to review the content anyway. So advertising in the United States is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And no, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. And guess what? Advertising funds the open internet. So that means that all of the internet that you're seeing, where you can literally just type the site and then just start consuming that content, whether it's a video, whether it's just media that you're consuming, it is funded by advertising. That's why those websites need advertising as a revenue. And that's why some other websites, the bad ones, have a lot of them on their page and they annoy us as consumers, right? So let me get this clear. If advertising disappears, okay, not just programmatic, if advertising disappears, the internet will no longer be free. We're going to be paying membership for every level of the internet, okay? So that's what I want to tell you with this this particular thing. Like, we gotta make sure to realize that we're in the right space right now. You're in marketing, you're in digital advertising, you're anywhere in this industry, you're in the right place because we need you. I am just offering you a different option. And go into your boss's office, go into your director's office and say, I want to be able to bring in a programmatic internally, and then give me a call. With that said, here's a quick recap, right? So an advertiser is a person or company that advertises a product, service, or event. And brands are advertisers, just in case if you were not familiar. One of the biggest benefits for advertisers is maximizing their ROI because the efficiency in the technology used. Programmatic can improve brand awareness, increase revenue, and offer hyper-targeting capabilities. Costs can add up for advertisers, especially initially. It offers real-time measurement, performance transparency, and plethora of creative messaging. And of course, measurements can be a challenge across different partners, including brand safety and transparency. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for bidding on you, for taking, 40 minutes? I did good. So for taking this past 40 minutes to talk and learn and discuss with me the beauty of programmatic advertising. Now, you may be feeling hella confused. You may be feeling really excited because it's new, but it still feels new, okay? And my hope is that you're not feeling defeated and wanted to give up and change career. But the beauty of it all is that because it's technology, influence, because it's consumer influence, of course, because it's marketing, it's exciting, it's fulfilling, it's lucrative. There is a great way to make, salaries are where it needs to be when it comes to programmatic advertising. But the biggest thing about me being here and talking to you is that there's a serious diversity issue. I mean, we've done much better the last 2 years, and I'm sure you know why. Yeah, you can guess. But I want to invite more marketers, more Black marketers, more African-American marketers, more marketers, Hispanic, Latino, Latinas, Hispanic marketers, marketers that are from the LGBTQIA plus community. We want to invite those to come in because we need your perspective. It's tiring to code switch because I've code switched my whole entire career and I'm not doing it no more, and I haven't. So thank you so much for allowing me to introduce you to this. Thank you so much for really being you. Thank you for taking the time to really, invest in yourself and making the time. If you scan this QR code, you'll get a call directly with me. It's a free call, no string attached. Give me a call. Let's chat. Let's just talk about how this deck made you feel. Drop it in the comments. Reach out to Michelle. Reach out to anybody on Michelle's team if you have any questions. And of course, I am very active on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube. You can find me anywhere. So thank you again for coming to this presentation, and then we will be in touch.